pananaw at opinyon ng pag-uulat ng mag-uulat sa programang ito ay hindi ang pangunahing posisyon o pahayag ng pamumunuan ng organisasyong ito. The views and opinions expressed in this live report are those of the presenter and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the management of this organization. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Magpayo tayo Kainklusyon. Today is Saturday, March 26, 2022. I am your host, Carlos Miguel Kanahashi. Together with me is Christian Gerald Chan and Magpayo Betita as our technical supervisor. And Asher will be joining us via phone patch in Calamba as well. And we're broadcasting simultaneously on the InkluRadyo Facebook page, and it will be viewed on the next day on our HNI Pilipinas YouTube channel. We shall commence our presentation in just a moment, and we will be back after our commercials. Now this.
Para sa aking pamilya, para sa aking kapwa, at para sa bayan. Kahit mahirap, kahit masakit, mahal ko kayong lahat. Kahit anong mangyari, ikaw, ako, tayo. Ating isisigaw sa mundo. Inklusibong may tatag, angat buhay, itatahak.
Hello again.
Matapang pa rin tayo. Ang tropa, hindi nang iiwan. Ang senyas, isang instrumento. Ilang beses matumba, tayo huling baba. Luman ang ating pinagaling. Tayo ay muling liliwan. Para sa pangarap, para sa pamilya, at para sa bayan. Tayo ang ida. Tuloy ang inclusion.
Amali po bago po yung update sa monitor sa Facebook Live.
Okay. Okay, we're on live right now. Okay.
Hello everybody, welcome back.
Welcome back to Magpayo Tayo Kainklusyon, ladies and gentlemen. So this evening, we'll be having our Kumustahan tayo for our segment podcast for this day. So, Sir Mark, can you flash our PowerPoint, please? Sir Mark? Okay. So, our topic for our Kumustahan, for our Magpayo Tayo Ka-Inclusion show for this day is today, this month, we are celebrating this very historic milestone in the history of our organization, which is the anniversary of Hands in Inclusion Philippines. So, our topic for Kumustahan. So, Sir Mark, can you flash our PowerPoint, please? And Asher's gonna join us right now by a phone patch all the way in Calamba, Laguna. Okay. So, let's have our Kumustahan. So for our Kumustahan topic, so I will ask you a question. What is Hands in Inclusion Philippines for you? Sino mauna? Christian, Sir Mark, or Asher? Christian, ikaw muna.
Sige. What is something I have right now I want to admit na I don't like I now have a pet peeve for questions na what is blank for you kasi iba-ibang perspektibo ng natin sa hands in inclusion. Ang hands in inclusion kasi right now we're just a social group, but if eventually come an org, the name itself will transcend the org din eh. We define ourselves in our main purpose. It's really to include others in help people with special needs included in our society. So if you ask me what is inclusion for me, I'd say na it's an answer that's much bigger than just saying it's the org itself.
Sir Mark,
Kasi
what is Hands
okay, never mind.
Sir Mark, what is Hands in Inclusion for you? Your mic, please. Excuse me.
Hands, hands and inclusion for me is may pamilya, pagkakaisa, at pagkakasundo-sundo.
Thank you. How about you, Asher? What is hands in inclusion for you?
For me, sa ating inclusion for almost 5 years na po tayo po. Pamilya Royal, nagsimula po. At least, matagal-tagal na. Nung elementary pa kami, may magkasama na kami. Dahil ang inclusion po para sa akin is para matulungan po yung mga tao, para maging kaibigan at maging friendly po tayo lahat po sa isa't isa. At hindi yung mga pang negatibo po sa ating lahat po na ginagawa natin.
I also, for me, what hands in inclusion means to me is that as a Inclusion Philippines kasi, this is a community of volunteers wherein we promote inclusion in our country. And the purpose of this is to unite everyone. That's why inclusion is for all, regardless of who you are and the way we were. In other words, it is done, inclusion is done regardless of our race, our language, our faith or beliefs in order
Correct
to
ka
build
dyan.
a just and a humane society. Is that correct? And
Correct ka dyan,
why?
Carlos. Because we want everyone to know that we are not alone. We're humans, and we want to make sure that everyone wants to be part of something. Malamang.
Okay. What are
Okay.
the core values of Hands in Inclusion Philippines? In Hands in Inclusion, we put God first regardless of our religion, truth first, people first, to promote our culture in our country, as well as to show that we are putting people in need first. So why do we need to do this? So based on our guiding statements of Anthony Inclusion, it states there, we as a social awareness group encourage ordinary people to be informed of the inclusion of the major sectors of our society and its benefits by means of social media and other possible effective means. Our vision is that we see that because of inclusion, major sectors of our society will be embraced and supported, starting from our network and towards the rest of the country and eventually the world. Through
Tama.
inclusion, we unify both our beneficiaries and the majority of our society. Asher, question, bakit kailangan natin ito based on the mission and vision of the organization?
Kasi para maging good spread po tayo sa ating organization ay hindi maging tulad sa iba po mismo.
Okay, so I will also, let's talk about in relation to our Kumustahan topic. So let us have our milestones. So when did HNI Inclusion Philippines was founded and who founded that group? Tell me the date and the founder. Asher, sino
Founded in March 8, 2017.
at sino ang may-ari?
Of course, ang may-ari po mismo ang aming BF po na si Roylan Marlan po.
And shout out po to Roy. Hi, Roylan. If you're watching us, shout out po kay Roylan as well. And the first name of the organization was IIA. What is IIA? Inclusion in Action. That's the former name of Hansen Inclusion. Asher, at that time, when Hansen Inclusion was founded, Royland joined in two PWD orgs. Is that correct?
Yes po.
Ano yan? AFP and Project Inclusion. Di ba?
Hindi pa kami nakikita po. Pero nakita na po lang kami noong 2019 po. Pero ang huli namin kita po yung in person po 2008 na, matagal na. Eh yung at that time nag-graduate na kami ng elementary po mismo.
You see? And also, we had a lot of changes since 2017. We began the experiment on how to help PWDs in need. On June 12, 2017, what happened coinciding with the Independence Day celebration? IIA became known as, what's the current name? Hands in Inclusion. And after that, we had a lot of changes for the past 5 years of this organization. In 2017, it was started as IIA, founded by Roylan Marlang, a self-advocate with autism from Pasay City. And we began the experiment on how to help PWDs in need. And then on June of 2017, Inclusion in Action became known as Hands in Inclusion. And then the first logo was designed by Pawi Bouvier. Yung logo ng Hands in Inclusion. Ito siya. Okay, siya. Ito yan. This is the first logo of Hands in Inclusion. If you can see. And then, in 2018, what happened? There are two events, right, Asher? Yung Inclusion Ako campaign, inspired dyan sa Ginebra. And then also, the 2018 logo of Hands in Inclusion last November of 2018. This one, as you can see. Asher, in this logo, what are these rays represent? In this one, it does represent blue is autism, and other colors of persons with disabilities. Cerebral palsy, ADHD, ano pa? Yung Down syndrome.
Sorry to interrupt. Are physical disabilities represented there?
What's blue? Autism. Green is, I think it's cerebral palsy. And then the ADHD and the others. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And then, in 2019, what happened in 2019? Asher, if you remember, ang mga nangyari sa 2019 dito sa Hands in Inclusion, eto, second anniversary. Ito, this is what we're using right now. The one who designed this is who? Mike Ambion, a student in Benil. And then also we have the online shop, but we are still in operation, all right, guys? The online shop is open. It's open. And then after that, Asher, do you remember yung sa 2019? Yung
sa may building ng Benil po.
But before that, ano nangyari? Roylan spoke in Puzzle Cafe, right? In Quezon City. Is that correct? Wherein he represented the org at the time. And then after that, Asher, yung Alam Namin Po Yun commercial noong July 2019.
Opo, nandito pa sa YouTube channel mismo.
And then after and how about October 2019? Anong events? We had podcast na. Ang unang podcast ito ay ang TIR. What's TIR?
The Inclusion Report.
The Inclusion Report.
At sino ang host at that time? Noong October 2019.
Si Roylan.
Siyempre,
si Roylan Marlang mismo. Before nag-take over si Carlos. I don't know kung kaya si Carlos nag-take over sa TIR po.
And then, after that, in November, what happened? Yung bazaar sa Benil. Diba? In one, the
Mm.
alma of my current alma mater and the alma mater of the founder. Ito ba yan, guys? Ito yung This is the Bazaar in Vinyl. Right, guys?
Yes. Hindi ko pa napunta doon.
Who are there, Asher? Sino andyan?
Malamang ako, si Roylan, yung David Mariano, Bel Barrial, kayo lang pagkakaalam ko.
Si Ate Sam, Samantha Season, pati si... Sino pa? Yung may-ari, di ba? And a Benildian alumni named Roylan.
Kaya hindi lang makita yung pagmumugan ninyo.
And then, after that, ano pa, nagsalita si Roylan sa Benil, di ba? And then after that, Isko Moreno recognized Hansen Inclusion on the receiving of the gifts. Is that correct? No,
Yeah. Wait, really?
November 2019, on the Capital Report of the City Government of Manila, wherein they had received gifts. What are the gifts? The T-shirt and the portrait of Yorme and Vice Mayor Hani Lacuna. Is that correct? It was announced by the new mayor of Manila named, what's the name at that time when Hansen Inclusion was recognized? It's Yorme.
Yes.
Isko Moreno.
Or Isko Moreno. Later be running this year for president. And then after that, let's head over to 2020. In 2020, what happened? We had a first gathering entitled Makabagong Otismo sa ika-21 siglo.
Yes.
So, saan yan? Where's the venue of that event? It's in a hospital in Manila. What's the name?
PGH.
Sa PG. What's PGH, guys? What does it stand
Philippine
for?
General Hospital.
Where's
General Hospital?
Saan yan? Sa Manila.
Yes, it is.
And then, this is a joint between Hansen Inclusion, Autism Strong, Project Inclusion, and Association for Adults with Autism Philippines. And then, after that, we had songs, right, in 2020 in Hansen Inclusion. The first one is on Inclusion Nation. It was on March 8, 2020. We also had the Tinig ng Mga Nawalan on September 14, 2020. And we also had One Inclusion Forever last September 30 and December 8, 2020. The former is an original composition, while the latter is inspired of the song of what TV network? Asher, what's the name of the two songs? Yung Tinig ng Mga Nawalan and One Inclusion Forever. Saan galing yung mga songs na ganyan? Asher, ano pangalan ng TV network? Inspired dyan. Asher. Is it?
ABS yata.
Galing inspired dyan sa ABS-CBN. And then, after that, you had an online concert, right?
Yes, we did.
2020. Teaming Inclusion 2020. In May 17, 2020. Who are there? You, Christian, Roylan, and the other members at that time. Is that correct?
Yes. I contributed the cover of One Inclusion Nation. Supposed to be, it was for the 5th year anniversary. 5th year. Pero since I heard that you used it, I still get appreciated with it. So thank you.
And then after that, we had 4 EIR interviews last June and July of 2020. Is that correct? We first interviewed a PWA living in Caloocan City. We interviewed a pastor and a basketball sports enthusiast named Gary Asher.
Sorry, the
Sa The Inclusive Report interview nung 2020, sino yon nung 8 ang June at July last 2020? Sino pangalan yung apat? Yung isa, taga Caloocan. Yung isa si Brother Gary. Isa si Sir Ernie Gawilan at yung isang may-ari ng isang PWD organization sa Bulacan. Is that correct? Asher?
Yes. Yes.
And then, after that, what Inklulihan inilungsad yan noong July 6, 2020. So what's the purpose? Yung mga nawala ng trabaho, hindi nakatanggap ng ayuda, yung mga estudyante na hindi kaya bumili ng gadget for the online classes at that time, habang ipinagbabawal pansamantala ang face-to-face hanggat may basbas ang DOH at yung gobyerno natin, yung less fortunate as well as the future projects of the org. We also had a One Inclusion Forever commercial, which dedicates it to the frontliners. Asher, hello. How about August 8, 2020? Any event? Ito, ako at si Gino. At that time, diba? At that time, Christian, how about August 8, 2020? What happened in Hansen Inclusion? It was me and Gino, right?
Yes.
What happened at that time? They're having political discussions.
It was a dark day.
What?
It was a dark day, wasn't it?
And because of that, and then after that, what happened? We apologized to Gino as well because of that, right? His family as well because of that. And then after that, August 29, 2020, what happened? What segment ended?
Open Arms? Wasn't open.
No?
No.
Dito po sa HNI or Kumustahan sa InkluRadyo. And then September 5, 2020, here goes MTK. On September 5, 2020. On September 14, we stopped Inklulihan. Why? Lack of support from other people. Kakulangan ng support sa ibang. We also unveiled the Tinig ng Mga Nawalan song, Inclusion Pilipinas version, which inspired ABS-CBN.
Yes.
And the purpose of this is to show the Filipino fighting spirit in our sense. And then after that, we had a Christmas song. It was composed by me. It's One Inclusion Forever. Inspired from ABS-CBN. And then, who are the singers? Me, Roylan, Christian, Cedric, who else? Christian, who are there in the song?
Everyone, no? Wasn't Vel there also? No.
We also have, in the video, it was Tara, it was TJ was there, Billy was there in the song that we
Yeah, I
always
forgot
sing.
Billy. I'm sorry, Billy.
How about you? Are you there in the song?
I was, although I don't really like hearing my voice on.
And then
On
after that, on December 8th, we had after that we had events in October 24, 2020. We unveiled the designs of the T-shirt of the organization, which is currently available in the online shop. And then November, what happened? Dr. Francis Di Malanto appeared in Itbulaga. We also had the death of the owner of a famous PWD organization in Bulacan at the age of 58 due to complication. How about Bel Barria and David Mitchell?
Congratulations to them.
In the US on November 22, 2020. And then after that, we had, and then December 3, we unveiled the logo of Hansen Inclusion for the 4th anniversary in celebration of the Christianity and the Battle of Mactan. December 8, 2020, Royland spoke in Ateneo Speed. in their
Yes, still at
webinar. So, Christian, what can you
yes.
say to the Ateneo's people?
I
Those
miss
are
you
what.
guys. I miss you guys. I hope I could see you again, especially the alums.
Hmm. And then, here goes 2021, last year. Last year, we had 5 webinars. Is that correct, guys? Asher,
Yeah,
Sir Mark, and Christian?
yes, that was correct.
So can you enumerate what are the titles of the webinar of Hands and Inclusion last year? O testimonials, connecting with Down syndrome, usaping inklusyon para sa kababaihan, kwentong autismo, and mental health,
Mm.
Enimeros, aware for mental health. And then, in the first webinar, who are the speakers in O Testimonials? Christian, can you enumerate? We have
The speak
Billy, we
maybe
have Kuya
Kev.
Arden,
Oh yeah.
Dr. Nerio, and Miss Pauline.
Mm.
This is a joint between the 4 orgs. What are they? Hansen Inclusion, Autism Strong, Project Inclusion, and Association for Adults with Autism Philippines. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then, the, and then, who are the Asher? Hello, Asher.
Kami pala. Okay na.
Asher, sino ang host ng unang webinar ng Hansen Inclusion? Si Roylan at si Anisa? Tama ba
Yes
yan?
po.
At sino ang mga project managers? Ako at ikaw, di ba?
Yes po. Ito yung bago yung kung ako nag-host ng
You were there. And then after that, Asher, what's the next after the first webinar? Yung Down syndrome. Connecting with Down syndrome. So, who are the speakers? Si Dr. Francis Di Malanta, si Sana Yuson, at si Mona Visperas. So, who are the project managers? Roylan and Christian.
Mm.
Were you there at the time?
I think I was not ata. I had something to do during that time.
Because of Indian. And then after that, March 2021, what are the events? Asher, yung Spread the Word Inclusion, yung sa Best Buddies and Special Olympics. Sino andun? Ako, si Roylan, si Bel, sino pa, Asher? Si Billy at yan si TJ. Di ba? And then after that, yung bagong tapang sa One Inclusion Nation. That's the theme of the 4th anniversary last year. Where did we get this? It's a commercial from Ginebra, a famous gin. Is that correct, Rachel?
Yes.
And then, bakit kailangan natin yan, yung bagong tapang? Para ipakita natin na bilang isang inklusibong bansa, dapat magkaisa tayo. At
Yes.
ipakita natin ang tapang at lakas bilang isang inklusibong bansa at isang inklusibong Philippines. Di ba? And then how about on March 6, 2021? You and Billy were there in the webinar of Assumption. You and Billy were there, Christian, right?
Yeah, in the webinar session, yes. With
And then
Kevin.
after, what can you say to Assumption as a way of thanking you from last
So
year?
Assumption, thank you for having me during that last year. I hope I can see you again soon. Shameless plug, I will be speaking in yet another engagement this coming April 1st. So don't miss it. Do you have the picture of it? No.
It's in the... And then, after that, Asher, how about nung March 27, 2021, nagkaroon ng ikatlong webinar, di ba? What's the title? Usaping Inklusyon para sa Kababaihan. So, who are the speakers? Si Bel, si Leah Benaventura, at si Olive Medina. And then, Asher, Sino nagkanta ng cover ng Bagong Simula ni Jem Nakatuno? Sino kumanta yan? Si Roylan, di ba? Roylan
Hmm.
sang the cover of Bagong Simula, sung by a Pinoy Big Brother alumni named Jem Makatuno. And shout out also to Jem Makatuno. Hello there. Sana I hope your everything is good. Jem Makatuno. Thank you also for liking my cover of the Bagong Simula song. Thank you as well. And I shout out to Jem Makatuno as well. And then Royland spoke in Ateneo Speed again. This time he talked about persons with special needs in the workplace. Christian, why do persons with special needs accommodate employees in the workplace?
Because
Christian.
we need to show that they are like us, and that they are that we are just like special, we are just like normal people naman. We are capable of doing things in society.
Because that's why we need to work para makapera tayo, di ba?
Yes.
We have income. And then after that, we had the return of Magpayo Tayo Kainklusyon on the 10th of April, the relaunch of InkluRadyo on the 4th of April, and then we also have Asher, what are the events ng April 2020? Yung webinar, yung what's that? Yung t-shirt ng One Inclusion Nation. Do you have one? Yung One Inclusion Nation t-shirt. The one was unveiled during the anniversary of the Battle of Mactan last year and the birth of Christianity. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then May 1st, what happened last year? There are two events. First is the webinar of Hansen Inclusion, and another PWD organization unveiled a YouTube channel. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What's the name of the YouTube channel that was launched on May 1st, 2021? This is the official YouTube channel of another PWD, of Angat PWD United, led by Carmen Zubiaga. What's the name? Planet Inclusion. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm sorry if I don't know most of these things.
It was founded.
It's
And
just
then, how about the kwentong otismo? Who are the speakers? Ako. Si Christian at yung isa. All of these are from Quezon City. Is that correct?
Yes.
Who are the hosts? The one from Angat and also Asher.
Ako yung the host.
At that time. Sino ang
And
mga
then after
project managers? Si Ate Sam at si Ate Marian. Marian Manrique at sino yon? Si Samantha Season. And then we have Inclu Training. This is a joint between Hansen Inclusion, Friends Static, and Angat PWD United. It started from May 18 until the end of July last year. Is that correct? Led by...
Yes, of course.
This is a joint between Hansen Inclusion, led by Roy Lan, Friends Topic, led by Sir Archie, and we also had, what's this? Angat PWD United, led by who? A clue. Senatorial candidate running for senator this year. Carmen Reyes
Subiaga.
Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And then after that, me and Royland appeared in the Guild of Thomas Jens Educators. We thank Ma'am Desiree. Shout out to the Guild of Thomas Jens Educators. Thank you for including me and Royland in the... We sang two songs. One is Bagong Simula, covered by Royland. I also covered a church song entitled Ang Tanging Alay Ko, sung by the Papuri Singers. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then after that, we had Barya para sa Inclusion. Asher, what's Barya para sa Inclusion? Yan yung ongoing pa yan? Is that correct?
Yeah, until now.
Until now. Tinuloy yan kahit paano yan. What's the purpose?
Tuloy
For
pa
the
rin.
Maria, para
It's a
una,
fundraiser.
less
So,
fortunate.
yes.
Ikalawa, yung mga nawala ng trabaho. Di ba? Ano pa, tuloy ang inclusion commercial. And then after that, after Inclu training ended, August 28, 2021, what happened? What event? Enhancing inclusion. This
What event,
event,
Carlos?
it's the another online concert last year. It's Include Pilipinas, Aiming Inclusion 2021. It has happened during the month of Buwanang Wika, the Filipino Heritage Month, and the celebration of the heroes. Is that correct, guys? Asher,
Yeah.
Christian, and Sir
Yes,
Mark?
that's correct.
So, for the online concert, for the poets who are there, Reggie and Marianne. For the costume, it's me, PJ, and Pencil. We appeared. Asher, di ba? How about for the singers? Ako, yung isa, yung taga QC, si Kino, Raralio. We also have Jerry Arcila, RJ Espleta. Who else? This one.
Si Bel. Si Bel.
Si Bel. Si Cristel. Si Ate Lina.
Nobel.
Nina Togane. Who else? Si Crisel. Di ba? And then also the one from another from Muntinlupa. Hindi ko babanggitin kung sino siya, di ba?
Yes.
He's from Putatan, Muntinlupa. But I will not mention his name. Why do we need, what did we sing? Filipino songs in celebration of, and Filipino composed songs, di ba? In celebration of, what are the events, Christian? Linggo ng Wika, the Filipino Heritage Month, and the National Heroes Month in the country.
Pero may isa pa, may naghahalo ng patikos din po sa kanta, sa performers din sa nagkaroon pa.
And then after that, what happened? What other events in 2021 aside from the concert? I spoke in Best Buddies Philippines in the ambassador training. So to Best Buddies Philippines, thank you for lending me, for representing
For having me.
Thank you as well for promoting me as an ambassador, especially to my speech coaches, Francine Campos, Ina Nava, and Sir G. And also to Miss Michelle, thank you as well in the ambassador training last September. And then after that, what happened? In 2021, the webinar, di ba, Asher? We were representing Hansen Inclusion in the webinar of Alicia Corpus in her consulting firm. To Alicia Corpus Consulting, especially to Miss Alicia Corpus, thank you as well for sponsoring us in their webinar. We will hope that we will speak with you and with our org and to you in the future. How about after that, November 2021, what happened? Asher and I joined the karaoke of Best Buddies Philippines. Di ba? Sino andon? Ako, ikaw, at yung mga taga Best Buddies Philippines. Di ba? What else, Asher? Yung ako at si Kuya Yo, saan nagsalita? Sa UST, sa kanilang webinar. Di ba?
Yes.
Sino, Christian?
Hello! Sorry.
Who, on December 3, 2021, coinciding with the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, UST had a webinar, right? Who are the speakers? Me and Kuya Yo. We thank to the Guild of Thomas-Yans Educators, thank you as well for presenting me and Kuya Yo in the webinar. If you want to watch, please check the UST, Guild of Thomasians Educators website. Last December, we had a Christmas song. What's the title? Ang Bagong Pag-asa ng Pasko. Who are the singers? Me, Lily, and Ate Margaret. And
That was
who
a good song.
composed that song?
Si Sir Roylan.
And it was inspired from the Christmas song of what city? Capital of the Philippines.
Manila.
Yes, that's absolutely right. We got that from a Christmas song from the city of Manila in 20. This year, what happened so far? Sure, what happened last January 17, 2022 until the 1st of February this year? What happened?
Nagkaroon ng...
Pansamantala nag-hiatus muna ang InkluRadyo. Bakit?
Siguro dahil sa patuloy tumataas na mga kaso.
Dito sa NCR, caused by the
Yes.
Omicron variant,
Benta.
to Filipinas who did not comply with the quarantine protocols upon arrival in the country from the US. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then we resume our...
Kaya nag-reserve muna sa website dyan.
And then after that, what happened on January 26? Me and the former member spoke to in the show of Angat, di ba? Hosted by who? Ma'am Carmen. Of course. Is that correct? Sino yon? Noong January 26, who are there? Me and who is this? Asher. What's the name of the former member of HNI Inclusion who is also living in Pasay? Is it Danmar? It's Danmar.
Ay, sa Denmark tayo pala.
At ako, nagsalita sa Angat, di ba? Sa kanilang show. And then after that, we celebrated the 5th anniversary of Hands in Inclusion. Di ba? And then after that, March 19, 2022, any event, guys, it's the SIVAP, right? One of the members here in this org represented in that show, right? The talent show of PWBs. And then, guys, after this, June 6, 2020, the day that we will never, that lest we forget in the history of our organization. What is that? Asher and Christian.
The HNI shutdown.
Yes. How about you, Asher? What happened on June 6, 2020? That's the day that lest we forget in the history of our org.
Kung nag-shutdown yung Inclusion, dahil sa mga dalawang pag na yan,
Dalawa na, all of these both from Quezon City, right? The two
Yes.
from Quezon City, Quezon City, the two from Quezon City, because of the two from Quezon City.
yung nobody church, tsaka yung
Katipunan.
Yung ko sa yung Katipunan pala.
Katipunan at Novaliches. And then, despite all the achievements in the history of Hands in Inclusion, pinakita din natin ang ating tatak. Patuloy kami maglilingkod sa inyong lahat. Nakaranas kami ng pansamantalang pagsasara noong June 6, 2020, hindi kami mawalan ng pag-asa at biyaya dito sa ating organisasyon. And then at that time, diba, ever since Sir Mark, pansamantala, I have a question, Sir Mark.
Yes po.
Bakit pansamantala nagsara ang Hands in Inclusion noong June 6, 2020? Bakit?
Dahil po nagkaroon po tayo ng ng mga problema po. Dahil po ng company.
Yes. Yung isa, the one from Katipunan, and the other one is Novaliches. The two from Quezon. And also because of the complacency of the members. Is that correct?
Yes, we had to. How should I say this? We had to like go on a sort of inner retrospection and reflection before we decide to get back in business.
Pero guys.
Hmm.
As we close our kumustahan, what will be our message to Hands in Inclusion? Ako, dapat, uh, for Hands in Inclusion, dapat we need to stay strong. Dapat maging mabuting halimbawa tayo. Dapat ipakita natin ang tamang asal at pag-uugali. Maging matino tayo. Act like a neutral person. Huwag tayo maging gampante. Maging maunawain, maawain at magalang. Ano pa? Yung huwag maging gampante at matigas ng ulo. How about you, Christian?
My message for Hands in Inclusion,
Yes.
more power and more discipline. May God bless this org, this soon to be org, and may this org flourish to serve its purpose.
How about you, Sir Mark? Ano po ang iyong mensahe para sa organisasyon?
Tama na po yung matitigas ang ulo. Masakit po sa ulo yung ganun. Dapat po marunong na po tayong sumunod sa patakaran. Wag na po natin hintayin na magkasira-sira po tayo dito. Paano po yung patakaran? Yun po ang sundin para wala pong gulo.
Okay.
Yun po.
How about you, Asher? Ano po ang iyong message to Hands in Inclusion?
To Hands Inclusion po ay sana po ay suportahan ninyo kami hanggang sa kasalukuyan po at sana po ay maging mabaitan po tayo. Kaya sa susunod po ay dapat po ay sa magandang organisasyon po at maging magandang halimbawa po sa ating lahat po.
Thank you. So now we conclude our kumustahan. Sir Mark, can you flash our next slide, please? We will have our election 2022 update. For our election 2022 update, wait. Sir, can you go back? Sir Mark, can you go back to our slide, please? Thank you. For our election 2022 updates, we will. So, Sara Duterte campaigns in Pasig. Sa Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte, campaign President Marcos. She recently reiterated her support for BBM as several support this campaign for preparing with other presidential aspirants. So that concludes our election 2022 updates. So now let us get to know our candidates. Let's have two. Christian, the floor is yours for Sino Ka.
Okay.
Let's have two
Okay.
candidates.
Okay. Our first candidate. Sino ka? Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., 64, son and namesake of the late Austrian dictator, was elected unopposed to vice gubernatorial seat in Ilocos Norte at his father's regime in 1980, and eventually took congressional seats representing the same province after his family settled in the Philippines in 1992. He also served as a senator from 2010 to 2016 before losing a bid for higher office to VP Lenny Robredo in the 2016 election. He had his secondary school in England from 1970 to 1974. Alas, he has no college
Next slide,
diploma.
please. Sir, next slide, please, Sir Mark. Our next candidate is Jose Montemayor. Who is he? He is a cardiologist. He claims to be a medical, legal, and economics background to the presidential race. And his first campaign for public office, he's running for president this year. He studied Far Eastern University. He studying medicine. He completed his internship in Cardinal Santos Medical Center in San Juan. He had focus on law and Philippine Law School. And he worked in St. Luke's as well. This May 9, 2022, let's vote wisely. Next slide, please. Let's have our announcements. In our announcements, Christian here.
Thank you. Bili na tayo sa Hands Inclusion online store where we sell different products such as t-shirts and t-shirts and sling bags. But eventually we'll be open to more ideas soon. We'll be selling more products soon, so you can go and buy. We also have, for our t-shirts, you have black and white. And also don't forget our Taliano Gold. T-shirts T-shirts cost 275 pesos for all sizes, while our tote bags costs 150 pesos medium size and 200 pesos large size. Any other products that we'd like to promote, Carlos?
And then we'll be very strict on payments. Payment first before purchase. GCash is the payment method, and GoGo Express and LBC will be our courier providers. Next slide, please. It will only be served on alert level 1 to 4 areas only. We will not have service for alert level 5, but it will be operating at 12 midnight to 11:59 in the evening. Please check the Hands Inclusion Facebook page. Email us at hansen.inclusion@gmail.com. Next slide, please. So we, Hansen Inclusion, needs your help. To be honest, we will be we have already been struggling with our financial problems here in this organization. So regardless, no matter what, it doesn't really matter if the amount that you're gonna donate is smaller or larger. This will be a great big help to us. We donate using GCash or through the Barya para sa Inclusion Project, through using a coin bank, and through bank deposit at Union Bank as well. So please help us in Inclusion Philippines. We're aiming to raise funds in our organization. Uh, it will be the proceeds from the sales and the donations will go to us here in Hands and Inclusion for the formality, including the SEC registration, as well as the financial aid to the members due to the pandemic, as well as our expenses of the organization. So guys, for those who did this, we will glad you did, and thank you for your continuous generosity for your support in advance. So if you want to buy from Ate Lady Jane Florese, you may do message her on LG Accessories, or you may contact her through WhatsApp. Next slide, please, Sir Mark. If you have problems with your PC, laptop, computer, or if you want to download games, music, or movies, then Sir Mark Betita is here. You may message him on Mark PC Laptop Repair Services. You may contact him at 0947 355 4759 or FB name Mark Betita. Next slide, please. Asher, ikaw na for the Best Buddies Philippines. Calendar of events and the reminder. Can you read, please? Asher?
Sorry po na kami. Dahil lang kasi yung video. Okay na po.
Okay.
Okay, for our events po is April 2, I can take of myself. April 9, I can set healthy boundaries. Yung April 9 po yung, ito po, and this is the last series of play before the Holy Week. So, no show on April 16. Holy Week po tayo lahat po. Then, by the April 20, Wellness Wednesday, then I can find letters in all my experience. I think public na po tayo sa summer series po sa April 23, then I can focus and center myself April 34.
So, paano tayo mag-register, Asher, sa mga events ng ganyan? Sa Best Buddies Philippines po, sa Facebook at Instagram nila, mag-send kayo ng message, and then the registration form will be sent to you as well. Can you read this reminder, please? Especially this year, Asher? And what does this mean?
The Best Buddies Philippines is a non-profit, non-promotional, and non-political organization. We support a clean and fair election and do not endorse any political party or candidate. As member of the Best Buddies Philippines community, please prepare from endorsing candidates during the activities of Best Buddies Philippines.
Bakit po?
Kasi ayaw na nila pupunin ng kampanya.
At dapat nakikisaw-saw sa politika. In Invest Buddies Philippines, we make a friend and be a friend. If you want to crave for something, especially for your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Sobra Comfort Food Restaurant and Kuya Korea Restaurant. For Sobra Comfort Food Restaurant, Tapa Sobra, Chicken Tocino, Corned Beef Brisket, Homemade Spam, Beef Salpicao are the all-day breakfast. Sizes arranged between solo to large, 465 to 1,450 pesos are the prices. Next slide, please. For our rice trays, we have beef bulgogi, beef shawarma, beef gyudon, pork broccoli bits, pork belly burnt, and short chicken and boneless fried chicken. Solo to large are the sizes. Prices range between 465 to 1,700 pesos. Next slide, please. For our sandwiches, we have fried chicken sandwich, pulled pork sandwich, corned beef sandwich, and chicken tocino sandwich. Sizes are range between solo to large, and prices are range solo, large, and regular and box of fours 320 pesos to 1,400 540 pesos are the prices. Next slide, please. For our pasta, we have mac and cheese, penne, and gorgonzola. Sizes are range between solo to large, and prices range between 290 pesos to 1,350 pesos. Next slide, please. How can we order there? Head over to the Sobra Comfort Food website, select the dishes you want to order, choose between pickup or delivery, pay conveniently to any of the same integrated payment methods. When your order is confirmed, expect updates via text or email. Next slide, please. For the Kuya Korea restaurant, for the menus are beef bibimbap, beef bulgogi, pork samgyup, and K-pop chicken. Prices range between 195 to 220 pesos. For the rice bowls, boneless popcorn chicken, half to whole, 235 to 435 pesos with gochu, ganjang chicken, and K-buffalo. And if you want to order, please check the Kuya Korea website for orders as well. Next slide, please. Sir, Christian, can you read this, please?
Isang mapagpalang Earth Hour po sa ating lahat. Ngayong araw na itong March 26, 2022, mula 8:30 p.m. hanggang 9:30 p.m., ang HNI ay nagkakaisa sa selebrasyon ng Earth Hour. We do this through turning off our lights in our house. Inayan po mga Kainklusyon na dapat mahalin ang ating kalikasan. We at Hans Inclusion support Earth Hour 2022.
Lastly, next slide, please. Follow us on Hans Inclusion Philippines on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Kumu, and Hans Inclusion Philippines YouTube channel. You may also follow InkluRadyo, InkluSports, InkluMihan, InkluGaming, and the online shop on Facebook. So this will be a part of our para malakasin natin ang ating organisasyon, lalo na sa mga online platforms. For those who did, thank you very much. Next slide, please. Before we wrap up, let's have our greetings to Manolito Pingon and Lady Jane Torrese. Good evening to you and thank you for watching. From Sir Mark Betita, shout out to ang Tropa PWD and to his friends, Pomera Boys, Sir Jason, Chick Pingon, Sir Yuri Garcia, Joanelda, the Pantera Boys, Walter Gian, and Annalyn Lopez. And also, to those who, for me, shout outs and greetings to my family, the HNI Inclusion Philippines, Best Buddies Philippines, Best Buddies Mild, and other PWD organizations, to my high school and college friends as well. Christian, do you have any shout outs and greetings since we're about to run out of time na?
Shout outs and greetings to my family and friends, to my WeWork people at Accenture, and to people from Ateneo. Hello, hello. Like I said before, I'll be speaking at engagement in UST called the Butterfly Effect. This will be held on Zoom, April 1st from 1 to 5. Don't forget, see you there. You can follow my Facebook for more info.
Okay, next slide please before we go. Can any...
Before pala po magtapos pala, may notice po tayo. Di ba na yung nag-7 to 8 na po ang Magpayo po. Ano po ang reason for that? Bakit nag-move ng 1 hour ahead yung show?
Dahil we have to give way for the voice of PWD Got Talent or Siva.
Okay, pero one more pa. Pero next Saturday, off-air ang Magpayo po, April 2. Then April 9, on-air again. April 16, off-air again. April 23, off-air again. April 30, and onwards, on-air ulit po yung Magpayo. So please bear with us po talaga.
Thanks. Christian, before we wrap, we're running out of time. Before we go, let's have a read this slide, please. Christian, the floor is yours.
Sure. We'd like to remind everyone that tomorrow is Sunday, and as has in inclusion, puts God first, regardless of our religion. It is a day of rest and faith, and because of this, you should be courteous, considerate, and respectful to the people who are attending religious services. Your cooperation and your silence will be appreciated as you enter the holy presence of God.
Next slide, please. So we're running out of time. Wala na po tayong oras. Nais po namin magpasalamat sa inyong panunood sa Magpayo Tayo Ka-Inclusion ngayong Saturday, March 26, 2022. We'll see you again. I'll be back tomorrow for the special report at 5:30 p.m. So on behalf of InkluRadyo Enhancing Inclusion Philippines, I am Carlos Miguel Kanahashi. Together with me is Sir Mark Betita, Christian Chan, and Asher Santos. May awa ang Diyos, nakakaraos mo tayo. Sama-sama tayong laban para sa pangarap, pamilya at bayan hanggang sa ating tatak para sa One Inclusion Nation. Magandang gabi, pagpalain naman tayo ng buong may kapal. May the Almighty God bless us all. Ngayong ikalima ng anibersaryo, makatotohan ng inklusyon, angat buhay ang solusyon. Sa HNI, posible. Pilipinas, God first. HNI, God first. Thank you very much for watching. Have a blessed evening to all. We will be leaving thank you very much for watching. Have a blessed night to all. Good night and bye for now. Bye-bye. And let us now give way for the voice of PWD Got Talent. Thank you for watching and good night. Thank you. Thank you, Asher, for joining. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Carlos.
Bago tayo itay mo na mag-outro muna. Mag-show
God
tayo.
bless po sa lahat.
Thank you. Let's all give way for the voice of PWD Got Talent of Siva after this show.
Carlos? Carlos? Hello? Carlos, okay na po? Hello? Hello?
Hello?